Good afternoon. Today we are starting a series on some of the presidents in the northern region. And I'm honored to have Jolie McShane. And what we'd like to find out is why people join the club, a little bit about the club, and what you did for the club. And really, these interviews will be used to recruit people. So, Jolie, first question. How did you learn about the Republican Women of Baltimore County?
So my husband's a drummer, and he had a gig with Chris West. And being a groupie, I went, and I heard that Ellen Soubry was there. I had worked in her campaign in the early 90s, never met her. So I was like, how cool is this? I get to meet Ellen. Sidled up to her and said, are we the only two Republican females in Baltimore County? And she says, oh, no, not at all.
Well, that's one of the advantages of being with the club. You get to meet women like Ellen Soubry. It's interesting because every meeting you go to, when Ellen's there, people ask her to stand up and we clap. I mean, to almost win, and some people think she did win, the gubernatorial is just amazing in this democratic state. So that's one of the interesting things. We get to meet great women at the club?
Oh, we get to meet great women and also up-and-coming politicians, male and female.
Okay. What impassioned you? What impassions you now to be involved in the club and to be president?
So the group is very empowering because we have an opportunity to be around other women who think the same as I do. And that's empowering because you feel so often that you're alone. And joining the club, I found my best friends. And I have a network of women now that I never had before, and that has so enriched my life.
It is great, isn't it? You mentioned meeting other politicians. Let's talk about some of the wonderful speakers that we've had for the Republican women. I know that we have had Gordon Chang, who has been on all the TV stations, and he's a national figure, and Jim Simpson, who was Karl Marx, a book that I would highly recommend, and Reggie Littlejohn, who works tirelessly for China and children in China. What do you think about some of the speakers we have, and are there any coming in the future we should know about?
So because we believe at this point that all politics is local, we have focused more so on local issues than national issues. So we brought in a gentleman who knows a lot about the CRT in Baltimore County school system. We brought in Robin Sachs, who is working in Maryland to ensure our election integrity. These types of speakers are enabling us to have action items that tie in directly to making changes with our local politics.
You mentioned action items, and I give you credit for that. I think you were the one that implemented the action items, and people leave meetings feeling so empowered because they know what to do. And some of these action items have really taken off. Tell us about some of your recent action items.
So the one that struck everybody right out of the box was writing a letter to Baltimore County school systems about the pornography in their high schools. We had everybody sign a letter, sent it off. Baltimore County responded saying, oh, you have to fill out Rule 6002, which is just a form. So our next meeting, we had a very healthy attendance of 90 people. Well, guess how many forms Baltimore County received? We supplied the letter, the form, an envelope, and we mailed them. So that has had an impact.
And I know it made the press, correct?
Oh, yes.
So that was a great action item. Now, you have your own talents, and if you could talk a little bit about those. And one of the things we're looking for in the club are women's talents to be used and their skills to be used to help fight our cause, which is really freedom. So what are your talents, and what are some of the things that you think could be brought to the club to help us to grow? And why has our club grown so much?
So when I joined the club, the website needed help. Social media was a disaster, and that's actually what I do professionally. So it was an easy segue for me to help the club revamp the website and then start up the social media. And as everybody knows, our social media now is very powerful. We have blogs that are going out, we have Facebook posts, and we are on all alternative social media platforms.
I know we have all kinds of women contributing to the newsletter, people that can write the newsletter and people that can write blogs and photographers. And people are just looking for a place to fight for our country. I think that's just wonderful. Now, you mentioned, we talked a little bit earlier, and of course we're friends, about a future vision. What is your vision for the club? What do you see going forward?
That's a great question because what I see going forward is winning. And we are winning. We see everything turning red. The red wave is real. But most importantly is I want to have social events for club members. I want to see breakout breakfast meetings. We're down in Catonsville, and there's a group of us having breakfast. There's a group of us having dinner. There's a summer party taking place, because getting together socially is what really keeps the club together.
Everyone says that. Everyone says they meet so many friends that we feel isolated today. So you've done a wonderful job. Thank you so much. Any other final words that you would say? Why should someone consider joining the Republican Women of Baltimore County?
You will find the best friends of your lifetime.
Thank you, Jolie. God bless you. God bless America. Come join the club or your club in your local area.